Welcome to Telco Bridge's ProSBC TechTraining Module 112, covering more valuable topics on using and installing and configuring ProSBC. So listen on.
One thing I didn't do is compare Pro and FreeSBC, but we have it on the website there.
Is it?
Yeah, I can show you. Software versions and upgrades, licenses, some just troubleshooting to help us here. So we have, I forgot to add one more. You have main, major, and minor, and then we, just with 3.1, we added a new dot something else at the end. You don't need it, right? You never need to look at this last one. It's something internal, which just for simplicity, they decided to put it. So you may see 3.123.5, right? But if you see .5, there's not going to be another one, 3.123. It's going to be 3.123.5 only, okay? So you can forget about the last one, but you still see it some in the web interface. So we have some beta releases for a new major version. For example, this time from 3.13 to 3.19, we had beta releases. We had some customers who tried those versions, and then at 3.10 is the one that we made available to everybody, which added features which are defined in the, I will show you after, okay? Which are defined, which new versions are with 3.1. So one day we'll come up with 3.2, and 3.2 will have other features that you'll have, but we still add features in minor version, but only features that we are fairly confident it won't affect anybody, right? A major version, well, there's more chances that some of the process have changed, okay? So you have to be more careful. Okay, we always do regression tests on every minor increment that we do. And usually we send only to some customers. So let's say one customer has reported a problem with an hack on a SIP call in that situation. So we fix it and we send it to that customer only. And then maybe we do a 3.124 for another customer because we change another little thing. And maybe at some point, you're in 3.110, we announce a new stable 3.1. You can upgrade to stable 3.1. The risk is very low when you do that. Just you will have new fixes that have been done from 3.110 to the next version, okay? If you register to the, one thing first, update on major versions, the features are listed in, it's called T-Control version history. So if you look out here, you will see all the new stuff that comes out in new versions. So 3.0, the versions, 3.1, the new stuff that is included in those versions. If you want to know the status, then it's better to register to the FreeSBC forums, and you will see sometimes we put new versions here. You see 3.114, 3.0.135. So if you're on 3.0, you can definitely go to 3.0.135 with low risk. And then if you want to go to 3.1, it's a good idea if you go to the major version just to talk to support, say, well, what are we getting with 3.1? You get information here, you get information here, but you can confirm with us as well. So in the forums here, you have the link to this new version. So if you, let's say 3.114, if you want to download this one, you have the link and the user password. If you upgrade to a major version, you require a new license. Right, so once you have upgraded to 3.1 from 3.0, you need to go and update and renew the license. Right, it's going to get a new license and install it on the system. If you go...
Once that process, right? It's still that one.
Yeah, you just, if you have a redundant system, you need to do it 2 times. Yeah, but okay, I forgot. 3.0.57, so the link is like this, and then we still use CentOS 5 mostly for our media gateways. Still using CentOS 5, some of them, but for the SBC, it's going to be CentOS 7. Okay. So you just go here, download it. I think the package is about 300 megabytes now or something like that. So it's still pretty big, but manageable. Use the CentOS 7 package. Okay. To upload the new package on the system, so you need to go here in Package and Licenses, choose the file, upload the package. Here it will tell you the version, CentOS 7, that you need to upload. Once you have uploaded the new version, you can select it. You see the 0.1 there, 3.1.23.1. Mostly it's going to be 0.1. Select the release version, validate the software, and then activate the new package once it has accepted that this is correct. If you don't do validate and you just do activate, it's still going to do the validation first. But if you want to do it beforehand, let's say in the day, then you can do validate like this. Okay. Validate and activate. The upgrade Linux package, we talked about it a little bit before. So you to get the latest security patches, we get patches every few weeks. In general, every 6 weeks we do a new release, and then you can at any time go in the host control. So that's if you click on host status, and then you can get here upgrade Linux packages. It's going to download all the packages, install them. If there's a kernel update, you need to reboot the host. Requires reboot. Okay. Offline mode available. Alright, so offline mode is a bit tricky because you need to download the big file, which is a copy of our repository, and then put it on the disk, and then fake that this is a repository. You need a local one, and then you update from there. Still possible to do. Okay? Easier this way.
How does that differ from doing it by SSH?
No, none. Doesn't differ. So you can do it by SSH as well.
Either.
Yeah, either.
It's nice to have it in the web.
Yeah, that's the only thing. You will see the status. Well, after you do apply action, you'll see the status of what's going on in the web portal. You just see the packages being downloaded, updated. Same thing as in SSH. So it depends how comfortable you are with SSH. I always do it on SSH, right? Because we're used to doing that. The only thing you need is the DNS on the host, right? Because our repository is repo.techoperages.com, so we just need to resolve the name for that. So, yeah, the DNS on the host. Yeah. So when you do TB change IP, first time you get in the system, TB change IP, you can put the DNS server there. Okay.
Quick question on Linux packages.
Sure.
So you guys are controlling your own repo.
Yes.
Is there any danger in enabling the base repo to install something you guys don't include?
Yes.
I mean, my example would be Nano, but you know.
Yeah.
Uh,
Your Nano's not in there.
Nano's not in there, which y'all might want to fix.
VI?
Yeah, it's VI only, so I enabled the base repo to install Nano because VI sucks.
Yeah.
And didn't disable the base repo. I originally non-system impacting like Nano, that's no big deal, but other things you guys probably don't want us doing.
Oh. Well, I don't really have a problem with that because you're taking your own risk, right? Which is okay because you know it's low risk. If Nano has a security breach in 6 months from now, well, we don't support it, so we don't do the new. If you do it, fine. You just upload. So I don't have any problem with that. I probably other people downstairs go, oh, why are you doing that? No, calm down, right? But if you know what you're doing, it's fine. It's fine. It's just that we don't support it, we don't control it, we don't protect it. It's just that. But you see, it's regular CentOS. That's why we give root access. If someone wants to do, I have no problem with that. It's okay.
If you have a 1+1 redundancy, Do you need, is there a certain order in which you would want to do that? Or as far as each, obviously each one has to be updated. Is there an order to do that in, or is there?
No, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Say you do the secondary first and then you fail it, you do the primary.
I've never seen any Linux package affect our system. Right? It doesn't affect our system. Okay, so it doesn't matter when you do it. One could be at one version, one the other. It doesn't matter. Right? The only thing is the latest one I've updated, 3.1.23, requires the new kernel. So you won't be able to upgrade if you don't have the new kernel for that, because you have a new DPDK library, which we use for TB router, which is critical, as you heard before. But it doesn't matter if they're not. But you know, if you have two systems and they're not at the latest security patches, well, one of them is maybe more at risk, right? But the risk is still very low, but
So is there any firewall implemented in a system?
so
Or we have to put in front of this system another firewall?
So the SBC itself is the firewall. Right? However, it doesn't include the management port. So the management port, if you plan to use it outside of your network, then you will need to pass it through a firewall. Right? But the SBC functions, the LAN 1 interfaces, these ones are protected. You don't need to have any other firewall for them. And if you don't want to have a firewall for the management port, then you can pass you can create a new management port on the SBC interfaces. Okay.
But for other, I mean, is there, beside the SBC, is there any other like IP tables or something that you
No.
block?
No, there's no IP tables.
But it's only open whatever you configure in SBC. That's what
Yeah, exactly. And you will see later when you go in the SBC details, you will see the internals and you understand why it's like that. All right. Okay. What's left here? SBC licenses. So you have free SBC and Pro SBC licenses. You have your product key, right, which is very important. That's where how your license is attached. You can see that in packages and licenses. You see here the elements. When you use Pro SBC, all of them are available. When you use Free SBC, some of them are not. Like I think Analytics Pack maybe is not there in Free SBC. Okay, some of them are not there. Almost the only thing that is really important is the number of SIP calls here. So it's two call legs per session. Okay? So here 60,000 means that I have 60,000 calls coming in and 60,000 calls going out. Okay? So that's 60,000 session. Okay? SIP registration forwarding, yeah, I think it's a general number for that. Okay. So the default is 1 year licenses. It's always 1 year renewable. You could purchase more than 1 year if you want. You just buy 3 years on the same SBC. It's fine. And we have some customers that bought permanent licenses. Right? So of course you pay more, but you can get permanent licenses on them. Usage restriction. Okay, so for example, a +1 unit. So that's you have the primary unit and secondary. So that's a secondary unit can only be used as a secondary. It needs to attach to a primary. Right? Once it's attached to a primary, then it's okay. It can run forever, but it needs to be connected to a primary device at the beginning of the configuration. Okay. Questions on licensing? Okay.
Is there any free license for a couple of days or I don't know?
Yes. So you can, if you go on the FreeSBC site, the freesbc.com, you can go there, you say download, you get the VMware or whatever package you want for 3 months. Okay. Then after 3 months, it becomes a free
But the
version.
ProSBC doesn't have all the features like
It's a
Pro.
Pro.
Yeah.
Yeah, FreeSBC doesn't have all the features. I'll show you later because what are the differences?
So the download for the first 3 months is full pro,
Yeah, it's full. Yeah, yeah.
and then it automatically reverts if you don't buy a license to free. Okay.
Is it free from the, is it time from the moment you download or the moment you install and activate the license?
The moment you download.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, the moment you download, the license key is created in our license server, and the dates are put right away.
If you miss the.
So how many times can you download it?
5. Five.
times? Okay, 'cause I downloaded, but I didn't install it yet, so.
5.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, maybe it's expired.
Yeah.
But we allow for 5 free, right? So if you tell us, well, I've downloaded, not use it, well, we can re-enable the free license
I
or
thought it was, you know, when one contacts the licensing server, that it says, okay, it's activated now, and you got.
But ideally, if that one runs out, you just get a new one and
Yeah.
continue. Yeah.
If the license expires, what will revert to free SBC or what?
Yes, exactly. So it when we had some little issues with that because the licenses were all set to the same dates, but now the new ones that are created should have 3 months more of free on the basic ones, and in those 3 months you need to renew the license for.
Grace period, right? You have
It's a grace period, yeah, exactly. But maybe the ones that were created today, maybe they're not all like that. So we have to be just a bit careful. And you can see that here, right? That the date from the SIP calls here should be more than the others, yeah. Otherwise it will stop, it just stops. You have to be careful. So you need to talk to us before it expires, otherwise you get into trouble.
So if the license goes completely expires.
Yeah.
Are calls still going to flow and then the features are shut down, or is it that the whole thing will just stop?
Well, on the media gateways, the system would be rebooted, forcibly rebooted without any feature. So that means all the calls are dropped. On the SBC, I don't know. I didn't try it. But don't get there. It's a bad idea. I don't know what will happen, actually.
So if I renew my license before the time's
Yeah,
up,
yeah.
do I have to reactivate it?
Yeah, you need to update. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Update. Update and renew license. Yeah.
So on the back, does the serial number and the product key, all that stay the same on the back end? You guys are just renewing the
Yep.
release on the.
Yes, yes.
on the
It's assigned with the licensee, the dates, the customer name, account, yeah, and the emails that you have put in the web user there.
You said that the secondary unit of 1+1 gets its own like special kind of license, has to be a
Yep.
secondary for life.
Yep.
If your primary completely craps the bed and dies,
Yep.
you have to relicense the secondary to make it the primary to add another one into 1+1.
Well, your secondary will continue to work.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm saying if you have to like rebuild your,
Oh, if you have to rebuild
if
it.
you have to rebuild the 1+1 because the first one is dead, do you have to relicense the secondary to make it primary to get that configured over to your new secondary?
Okay, let me explain how I would do it. Okay, so there's a primary, a secondary. The primary one fails, secondary is up, it's still running. All right. Now this one is completely dead. There's no way to recover it. All right. So you need to have a new server or new VM or whatever with a new product key. Or we have done this before: is switch the product keys, right? Or we call it reset the product key, so then it can be used on another server. Okay. So you restart this as a primary in the same network as this one,
Okay.
and it's gonna just okay, fine. Everything's
Alright, so
gonna
it'll see everything on the secondary.
Yes.
on the settings tab.
yes.
Oh, so you don't even have to restore it?
No. If the secondary is still up with the database will be pushed on the primary and nothing else.
And then the primary takes over control once it has the configuration?
Well, not necessarily. Secondary continues to have control. And then if you shut down the secondary, it's going to go onto the primary. The primary will be now the standby. Yeah.
Really?
There's no switch over if it's not necessary. Because we know we lose the calls, right? So we try not to switch over.
Okay, so if the primary dies in a normal scenario, it switches to the secondary, you get the primary back up and running, it's only going to go back there if the secondary fails.
Yeah, exactly. Or if you decide to, right?
Right,
Yeah.
yeah.
So you can do manual commands to switch over.
Cool.
Okay. Is that good? Yes? Okay. Get or renew license is there. The license seed is here. So of course it's going to change over time. So when you do a get or renew license, we take that and put it in our system and get the I forgot the name, the reference of the system. Okay. What else here? Upload the new license. So once you've downloaded it, then you need to upload it here. Choose the file, upload license. Going to show you if it has successfully installed. Yeah, here it should be installed always on the primary. So I don't know. I think, yeah, if you have only the secondary there, I'm not certain what will happen. But
It was a theoretical.
hopefully, when you get the secondary and the primary is down, you hurry up to get this primary up before you do any other change, right?
I think my bigger concern still in that scenario, though, is vMotion.
vMotion.
You know, being able to vMotion the machine and getting the license updated.
So-
quickly.
So there is a way to do it. Is it vMotion or something? I think it's something else.
Yeah, I mean, that's primarily what we use, right?
vMotion total.
Yeah.
So you tried it and it doesn't work? Or-
my understanding is that the license was not going to work because the way it's keyed to the like CPU or whatever.
Okay, so I think vMotion will work, but maybe it has some specific settings to do. I have never done it, so I don't know what are, I don't know what are those settings. But I think I think it can be done. I need to look in one of my tracking. Someone has done
we
it.
haven't actually tried it yet, you know, in terms of like, you know, machine, a host dies, we have to vMotion it off and move it somewhere, but it's, at least what I thought I was understanding, that probably the license wouldn't work if we vMotioned it.
vMotion, I think it's vMotion, and I think it can work. Maybe it requires some specific settings, but yeah. If you want to try it at some point, okay, we could synchronize together,
Yeah.
and then you try it, and then we can reset. If it didn't work, we can reset the seed, right? And
So the license needs to be activated, so you need to connect to your servers, right? Or
well, yes. It's if you do get or renew license, it's going to connect to the license server and get the
is
license.
the management port that needs the internet access, or it can go through the WAN LAN?
It can go through the WAN LAN if they are. It should be working. If they are management, they should be working. So if you create a new,
Management needs internet access.
yeah. If it's not management, maybe it's still gonna work. I'm not certain. Okay. If ever you cannot, oh sorry, go
I
ahead.
think it depends which interface you use to access the web portal. So.
Oh, from the interface of the web portal.
Yeah, because you can use the WAN and LAN to access the web portal.
You made me think. You're right. The SBC does not need to have access to the license server. Your system that connects and clicks on here, he needs to have access to the license server. So the license server will go through your computer to the license server, and the files downloaded to your computer, and then you upload it. So Nicole, thank you. I forgot about this case. So it's not the SBC that requires internet access, your computer that you use to access the web portal. Okay? Was there something else here? Oh yeah, okay, so I wanted to say also, download history. Okay, so if ever for some reason, even your computer doesn't have internet access, you're somewhere in the jungle, you can do download history here, send it to us, and we can use that to create the license. So it will have the information, the license seed, and this information to allow us to create the key. Okay? And then we can ship you by email the. You still need to have internet access at some point. Or maybe mail it to you, I don't know.
It's useless offline.
See, it's pretty difficult if it's offline. Okay, troubleshooting. So just a few things here. We'll see more of this later as well. But one of the things is you can just revert to the previous version. So from the web portal, you go back to the old version and it's going to redo everything and should be back to normal. If for some reason you lose access to the web interface, then you need to do some manual commands, right? And here I've put some of the things that could be done. So for example, this TB Toolpack stop will stop all the services that are running on the system. So the web portal, the OAM application, and all these things will be stopped. And this is to restart them. You can choose the version manually with this file, right? So you need to know the path of the file. But this one will choose the major version, and this one will choose the minor version of the system you want to load. So if you want to reload it manually, you can do this. You do stop, change the version, and then start. It's going to start on the old version. Okay? It's low-level stuff. You can also check with this tool. So I don't know if anybody has used this tool before. I will show you this week. We use it all the time, eh, Nicole? Probably 10 times a day, easily. Yeah, at least 10 times a day. With this, you have live access to all the applications that are running. So you can go and see the logs of the application live. Instead of doing a report and checking the logs, you can see them live. And when you're debugging a system, it's really, really useful. The two that we should look at when we're activating a new version is TBOM app. That's the main application, which is making sure all the applications are the same version and restarting the application if they are not at the right version. Or also it monitors them. If one of them fails, it's going to restart it right away. And maybe TB Router, because TB Router has access to the network interfaces. So maybe we need to look at this application. I will show these one later in the training. And in the logs, you can also check another one that's called TB Log Trace, which has information. Maybe if you have a transcoding unit or stuff like that, you will see information in this application. Okay, but of course, troubleshooting is always, where do you start? So here is, well, a good place to start is TBOM app. It's going to tell you what it's trying to do. And you will see all the steps here trying to upgrade 3.1. And if something fails in the upgrade, you will see it most likely here or maybe in TB Router. Okay.
None of your upgrades are ever going to fail.
Sorry?
None of your upgrades are ever going to fail.
Yeah, it happens sometimes. It happens sometimes, unfortunately. But they're tested here, but it's difficult to test from every version to every version, right? So we test some versions, but it's not possible to test all of it. All right, that's it. We're ready for lunch.
Congratulations, you're making great progress. Time to learn about network configurations by moving on to Module 151 by clicking in the box over here.